morning, everyone. Good morning. Morning. I hope you had a good first evening yesterday. So, I'm Claudia, and I'm External Event Coordinator at Saint-Gobain. And this is my colleague, Mikael.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Mikael. I'm a sales manager at Saint-Gobain, Finland, and I'm based here in Helsinki. So here we are all. I hope you had a good night's sleep and that you were not disturbed by the bright light, which you might have noticed, because the sun does rise very early here in the summertime.
So, at what time did it rise this morning?
Nobody, or somebody knows maybe? Yeah, you got up to at 3:56. That was early.
Wow, that's really, really early. But maybe you use this extra hours to get ready and to relax.
We hope so. And I know that, or we all know that having a presentation can be a bit scary, but just relax. We know that you are well prepared and you will do just fine.
Yeah, so here's the reminder of this morning's agenda. We will have the first session of the project presentation from now on until 9:50. Then we will follow with a 20-minute break. And then we will resume with the remaining teams from 10:10 until 12 o'clock. And I just remind you that each team has to attend both sessions.
Yes. And here in the front row we have the international jury, which you were introduced to yesterday evening. At the welcome ceremony, but we will call out each jury member's names, so you can put faces to the names again. So let's start here. We have Tuomas. We have Carl. Alicia. Pascal. We have Francis. We have Karel. And last but not least, Rainer.
Now, a few important rules to help you. Each team has 5 minutes for their presentation. You will have a timer here on the screen in front of the stage that will help to keep track of your time. When the time is up, the microphone will switch off. But please, after your presentation, stay on stage for a quick team photo. And then we will continue with the next team.
Yes, and once more we remind you that there will be no Q&A session after your presentation, but tomorrow morning there will be a mandatory feedback session from 9 to 12 in the hotel. And one more thing, see those cameras back there? This session is live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, so your family, friends and classmates can follow you and cheer for you. So let's raise our hands and give a big wave to the camera.
Yeah.
And then we go to the presentations. So here is the order of the presentations, and we will call each team up on stage. There will be a rotation in the room, so you come up on this side and go out on that side. And in between there will be, after your presentation, some photos and certificates.
Yes, and keep track of the team that present before yours. When that team goes on stage, please go and see a Justine over there to get ready for your presentation.
Yes, so timing is important as usual, so respect the timing. Take a deep breath and smile. You'll do good.
Yes, and are you ready? Good luck then. And we will start with the first team, team number 1, our Finnish host. Welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Riku Repo, and here with me is my teammate Violet Raitala. We are from University of Oulu, Finland, and it's an honor to be the first presenters here today.
And we'll be presenting you our proposal, Urban Harvester.
The project site is located on the southern side of Viikintie, which splits the surrounding area in two. The future development of the area will be on the northern side, making it even more dense, new and urban.
But the southern side will stay sparse and rural with its farms and fields.
Urban Harvester takes notice of its surroundings and attaches to the farm-like state of mind, making the spirit of an area even more stronger.
The project takes inspiration from the neighboring Viikki research farm. Then the whole concept of the plan is based on an idea of farm buildings with a futuristic twist.
The new construction stretches across the site.
It takes an object-like form, joining the mismatched group of Gardenia, the old museum, and the Ark building.
The center of the site is a vertical farm building resembling a silo. In addition to giving the residents an opportunity to harvest food, it functions as a seasonal thermal storage.
And with its positioning, it creates a center point to the surrounding buildings, and the connecting bridges provide easy connections, and they contribute to overall aesthetics.
Communal and commercial functions can be found throughout the area, making it easy to do everyday chores and to meet other people.
Now, let's continue with the renovation.
The renovated building has been designed to meet the communal needs of the entire area.
The building is divided into 3 functional zones for working, eating, and relaxing.
The first and second floors are connected with a large opening which allows daylight to enter. It also enhances the interaction between the spaces.
The building's exterior architecture has been preserved, maintaining its historical and aesthetic value.
Now let's move on to the new construction.
The new construction combines elements from farm buildings and the high-tech architecture of Viikki. Red, different shades of grey, and glass appear traditionally in farm and cultivation buildings.
Implementing these elements into the design, the complex makes a new distinguishable landmark for Viikki.
And here you can see the plan layout, and it's very simple. The apartments are located along a central corridor, and on the second floor it is possible to walk through the whole complex using these corridors and connecting bridges. This enables everyday encounters between the residents.
The second floor of the vertical farm building functions as a community hub. The other floors are dedicated to growing food.
And about the construction, the residential building's load-bearing framework consists of wooden columns and CLT slabs.
This design enables flexible changes in use, such as converting the apartments building into an office building. Additionally, modifications to the apartments are feasible.
And wooden structures also serve as effective carbon storage, contributing to environmental sustainability.
And Saint-Gobain products are used extensively across the building.
And due to the cold climate of Finland, most of the energy in the buildings is used for heating. In Urban Harvester, the heat loss caused by high amount of glazing is compensated by utilizing active and passive solar energy.
The energy is being harvested with a large amount of solar thermal collectors. The other energy solutions include a wide range of efficiency boosting technologies.
And in the calculations, the building performed remarkably well.
And let's finish with the old museum.
The museum is transformed into commercial sauna. Due to the status of the museum building, the sauna is made with a space within a space idea.
The interior of the building is stripped to the frame and converted into a cold space. The exterior remains intact, and the building continues to stand as a landmark.
The whole project area aims to offer climate-wise living and self-sufficient solutions for everyone living and visiting the area.
Together with long-lasting and carbon-wise building solutions, Urban Harvester strengthens the identity of Viki as a creative and innovative, forward-looking part of the city.
Thank you.
Foto. There's our certificate. Siinä on Petrin kanssa. So, thank you, Team Finland. And next up is team number 2 from Estonia. Welcome.
We are Team Estonia from Tallinn University of Technology. I am Marit.
I am Anne-Britt, and we are presenting our project Lego Talo, describing a modular system built as Lego houses.
Our contest area is situated in a Viki campus where busy city life meets with nature.
The site is divided into mixed areas connected by main pedestrian street. The buildings are oriented by sunlight and surrounding areas.
Higher 6-story buildings are located in north, and all the buildings' levels decrease towards the existing museum and green areas.
Our concept started from a simple optimal apartment volume from module system, creating a more open connection to the public space, taking into account good living environment aspects and using local materials.
Adaptability helps to accommodate changes in use and needs over time. During the building's lifetime, it is possible to change the modules according to needs. For example, from balcony to kids' room, or change the function altogether. At the end of its lifetime, the modules are easily deconstructible and materials can be recycled.
The module system is fast, effective, and provides high-quality building with less waste, also allowing adaptability.
Our modules are made from local sawn timber frame, which is fully reusable material. Frame's length and width are 3.6 meters, and frame with 150 millimeters of cross-section gives the opportunity for the most rational timber usage.
All the modules are made in factory-controlled environment and are easily connected by steel plates on site.
We created a module system where one size fits all functions, allowing variability and simple structure. 13 square meters proved to be carefully optimized module size. Connecting the modules create different sized apartments.
The main pedestrian street creates good connections and is a part of public space.
Commercial properties are located in northern quarter to create a good connection between the campus and Gardenia. Commercial properties include restaurants, cafe, gym, and daycare. In between, we integrated playgrounds and gathering areas.
We wanted to create a diverse outdoor living environment, so throughout the plot there's a learning path, including the existing Japanese garden. The learning path ends with an open-air museum where nature-inspired exhibitions and workshops are held.
New buildings are divided into 2 types, A and B. Module quantity dictates the size of the apartments from small to extra large.
Our system leaves a possibility for open or closed room composition. As the building rises, it steps back, allowing sunlight access and creating room for balconies.
Our building minimizes the use of concrete and instead, the main construction is made from local sawn timber. Roof construction carries the weight of the solar panels to maximize the use of renewable energy.
All the exposed frames are made from glue-laminated timber, which is more durable to moisture. To extend its lifetime, all the horizontal areas are covered by steel plates. The underground parking structure carries the weight of the building.
We achieved the best results regarding the LCA and energy efficiency analysis. One building produces 301 kilograms of CO2 equivalent per square meter.
Our reconstructed building's original volume is long, narrow, and arched. Changing its function to dwellings, we wanted to avoid long, narrow hallways. Therefore, we added 3 new extensions, creating spacious, luminous stairwells.
Towards the inner quarter, we added balconies integrating the module system to create a cohesive design between the reconstructed and new.
The reconstructed building includes spa and sauna complex on the ground floor and apartments on the upper floors. A look throughout the spacious atrium in the building.
Our project creates a quality and cohesive environment for all age groups using sustainable approaches. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Estonia. And next up is team number 3 from Czech Republic. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is Tereza Dudová, I'm from Czech Technical University and I would like to introduce my project, The Meet Point. Why Meet Point? We are in a very diverse location. We are in the middle of 3 different social environments with 3 different groups of people. Sorry. These people have different ways of living, different ideas, different interests. So in my design, I tried to create a space that would enable an easy movement between one place to another, but also to make some connection and to create the environment for people to connect and to be in one place. So these were my 3 principles that I used in my design. Speaking about the site itself, I've created all these access points which I connected with paths and also remained the 2 main corridors. And combining that with places where I saw some human potential or some potential for human interaction, I created a space full of opportunities for sport activities, for social events. And in the middle, I created a vertical element that will be used especially during the winter months for better orientation, and a circular space for some social events. Spaces for gathering cultural events were placed more on the southern part of the location, so the residential part above is like more quiet, and this place is designed more like a park. The main building is built as a sound barrier between the main road and the public space. I used also a solar energy solar analysis where I found that between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. The vertical element in the middle showcasts on some of the parts of the buildings, and in these parts I created a vertical glazed courts. And based on the surroundings, I created a rectangular shape of the building. This building should be enough high to provide a nice view to its surroundings, so I created a green roofs covered by steel shelters and roofs. The first floor of the building is especially for commercial use and individual entrances. The rest of the floors have rooms for long-term accommodation for students and young families. The rest of the floors have common spaces such as main corridors, laundry rooms, shared kitchens, and the last 3 floors have these vegetated roofs. As several buildings in that area are being demolished, I will use that construction rubble to be used as an admixture to the concrete, which will be used in the underground floor and the first floor, and the rest of the floors will be from CLT panels with low carbon footprint, and that they can be easily prefabricated. And the rest of the building is with balconies and steel roofs. The current office building has been changed into short-term accommodation for teachers and visitors of the university. As in the first building, the first floor is considered as for commercial use, and the rest of the floors are mainly for rooms. The load-bearing structure of the building is from concrete or reinforced concrete, and the facade will consist of concrete panels in the first floor and white plaster in higher levels. The energy and power concept of the building consists of controlled ventilation also with use of solar energy, drowning energy from ground by water heat pump, and the project use the rainwater harvesting system. And both buildings have been assessed for daylighting, overheating, also dividing walls and ceilings were designed to require the specific thermal, acoustic and fire comfort by using appropriate Saint-Gobain materials and systems. And finally, I would like to show you the transformation of the Big Museum. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Czech Republic. And let's welcome on stage team number 4, Poland.
Hello everyone, my name is Alexandra.
And my name is Magdalena.
We are very excited to share with you our project. Urban Habitat.
One second, Alexandra. Urban habitat? But what does it mean?
Magda, it's very simple. Let me explain. Urban entwines both rural and urban qualities. It's a step back to what's familiar, but forgotten over the years. That's why we also revisited our own experiences.
Growing up surrounded by nature, I value the beauty and the simplicity of the countryside in modern living spaces.
I, on the other hand, grew up in a city. I see it as a space filled not only with buildings, but with people who bring it to life.
Okay, but how it's connected to Helsinki?
It's simple. Half of the Helsinki consists of greenery, and we are on the fringe of the city, in the former Viki village. Our site is located between the dense urban tissue of the university and the scattered rural buildings and the nature reserve.
That's why our first goal was research, which means understanding the existing context.
In conclusion, the love and respect towards nature shapes the identity of the Finnish community. Our architecture is also open to the landscape.
We designed a modular form that follows the natural conditions, such as the sun path, existing greenery, and the key views.
We saved all of the 115 existing trees and added new ones. The form enables maximized access to daylight, which is crucial in Finnish conditions.
It also increases the visual comfort, and trees provide an acoustic buffer while reducing carbon dioxide emissions.
The outdoor space is connected by the sport and recreational path, which leads us to the old museum. It was repurposed into a multifunctional court within the existing walls.
The whole area is complemented by craft and local services managed by the residents.
Sauna is a space that integrates Finns. As you can see, you can turn anything into a sauna.
In the center, we've created an auditorium connected to the water zone and sauna. In summer, the water cools the area, and in winter, it can be used as an ice rink.
Because, as the saying goes, there is no such thing as bad weather.
Only bad clothing. Our research proved how fast inhabitants' needs change and how fast architecture must respond to those changes.
Following the open building approach, we designed a core house, which is a 2 or 3 bedroom module connected by the core, a bioclimatic community greenhouse.
We predicted possible adaptation scenarios: separated kitchen, additional workspace, or making the module more accessible. In the future, the building can readapt into co-living.
The building A underwent adaptive reuse, fully utilizing the existing circulation cores. We added vertical and horizontal extensions and making the building most efficient.
In the ground floor, we proposed a Fab Lab as to continue the university tissue. It's an innovative space where you can exchange knowledge by physical experience and integration. And above, we proposed dwellings for researchers while maintaining the existing layout.
In the site extension modules, we proposed integration areas, and above, co-living studio dwellings.
Wooden construction was always present throughout the Finnish history. And look how easily it's built.
That's why all the new structures are designed using the prefabricated CLT construction,
locally sourced materials,
along with recycled ones, significantly reduce the carbon footprint.
Our habitat is a place where the old and the new coexist in harmony.
So now it's time for reduce.
Both new and existing structures have well-insulated building envelopes.
We doubled the external walls to create traditional casement windows.
Blinds allow for healthy sleeping conditions during the white nights.
And the noise is reduced thanks to false ceilings and floating floors.
And it's time for reuse,
which means the use of heat recovery and water recycle system.
Produce means using the renewables, geothermal heat pump and photovoltaics.
It all led to creating passive buildings.
In the future, our building can integrate with the wider grid and redistribute the surplus of energy.
Urban habitat entwines both rural and urban qualities. It embraces vernacular architecture and sustainable solutions.
It's a place where a conscious community, architecture and nature align and create a vibrant and healthy place to live.
Okay, so rural or urban?
In Wiki, you don't have to choose.
Thank you, Team Poland. And next up, let's welcome team number 5 from France.
Hello, it's with great pleasure that we're going to present our project Ecotone. Imagine living in harmony with nature while being in the heart of the city. Could this be the future of our profession? This is what we sought to explore in our project proposal with a site that allows it in every way.
It's the interaction between the university and the Lamassari ornithological parks and the resulting exchange that form the basis of our research. Indeed, this urban setting is highly conducive to the creation of an ecotone. An ecotone is a transitional zone between two ecosystems where environmental conditions are distinct.
It's for this reason that we introduce a new main axe in our project, directly linking the university to Lamassari, that we aim to dynamize throughout the journey whilst incorporating terrace spaces and a network of secondary paths. Then, a new botanical composition with high layer for trees, a medium for shrubs, and a low for flowers. It's with this framework that our building takes shapes and will subsequently be green up to the rooftops.
Aiming to create interaction between the inhabitants of the district and the fauna while preserving a maximum of what's on sites with the least possible of the existing trees or the site's topography.
First, Building A, a multifunctional rehabilitation benefiting Vicky's university researchers, with a cafeteria and library on the first floor, offices and laboratories on the second, and functionary housing on the top floor. We've based our rehabilitation on 3 main principles. First, using the maximum of the existing structure while improving insulation. Then, maximizing external inputs by placing double-skin facades serving as winter gardens in the most exposed areas. And finally, placing in symmetry inhabited walkways. The few parts we must deconstruct will be directly repurposed on-site or recycled, such as a portion of the main glass structure. The new walkway spaces offer an enhanced relationship between the interior and the exterior, improving the building's quality of life by shifting the circulation spaces. This allows us to connect humans, fauna, and flora within a unified architecture.
Our entire project is designed as a journey between urban and vegetal environment with a thoughtful flow and composition, offering various benefits such as windbreaker trees, botanical events throughout the year, or even a sensory journey through taste and smell. Our new building directly linked to the context with building B1 facing the gardenia and building B2 and B3 placed at the level of the former L-shaped building, with ground level services and residential units on the higher floors.
Building B1 is reserved for gym or climbing with a careful consideration for acoustic comfort or insulation with eco-foam bathing networks, for example. Building B2 and B3 preserve the maximum of the all load-bearing structure of the former commercial building on site. Therefore, saving 17% of emissions from structure, we would need to add it instead. We reinforced the concrete structure with metal, allowing us to envelop the existing with a new annexed wooden structure. The building follows the same double skin and walkway principle as Building A, adding walls with thermal inertia using raw earth bricks made on site through the excavation of exterior or underground amenities such as parking or sauna.
All of these construction principles allow us to have cross-ventilated accommodations with a thoughtful preparation for the spaces to connect the interior and the exterior, and south-facing facades for an optimal winter comfort. We've maximized the use of on-site natural resources such as geothermal, solar, rainwater, etc.
All the rainwater collection network, both on the rooftop and through the ground, is also connected to a filter purification system, allowing us to inject all of the used and recuperated waters directly into our networks. Supplying water and a new building and the main new features, the seasonal Vasati Square.
This is a space that will evolve according to the seasons to offer various uses. A leisure space most of the time, an ice rink in winter, and a cooling space during heat waves. It is accompanied by scattered amenities throughout the site, such as a barbecue area or a children's park. All of our project is interconnected through vegetation and knowledge, with explanatory panels on urbanism and biodiversity in Helsinki.
This cultural journey community building C, the former museum, is partially deconstructed to accommodate an experimentation area for researchers and an exhibition space. All in all, this project allows for the creation of an ecotone for the healthy and sustainable cohabitation of the different spaces on the sites, following the different seasons and daily lights.
Thank you for your attention. We are Oriane, Mathilde, and Nicole from University in France in Bordeaux, working in relationship with the ISA-BTP of Anglet.
Thank you, Team France. Next up, let's welcome team number 6 from Latvia.
Hello. It is an honor to represent Latvia with our project concept, Symbiosis. We're having some technical problems, I believe. I'm not able to switch the slides. Okay. So We are second-year master students in architecture. Me, Paula, and my colleagues Aiva and Ada. Our concept grows from the site nature of Viki, it consisting of both rational and circular geometry. Acknowledging the nearby reserve as a birdlife paradise, we aim to integrate the site with its surroundings, fostering both educational and environmental enrichment. Our vision respects the site's core, seamlessly blending in with the existing built and natural environment. We encourage walkability, creating pedestrian paths that connect the entire site while preserving a large percentage of the trees. We aim for a connected, yet, if necessary, privacy-providing environment. We encourage an elevated pathway connects the site, linking Zone B to the historic museum structure. The path is accessed from Zone B, as well as 2 points along the path by stairs and elevators for accessibility. We have completely eliminated the road that split the site, therefore unifying it, and created a pedestrian road which connects to the Viki pedestrian and bicycle path. We have designed various community spots throughout the site, including outdoor dining areas for social gatherings and an outdoor integrated bicycle storage. The solar analysis proves that the site is well lit throughout the year.
The building A fluently fits into the landscaped area. From the building A, we take off the glazed bicycle shed and make the building as a gallery-type building with two-sided apartments inside. In the building A, we save the existing 3 floors. On the first floor, we planned offices. On the 2 upper floors, there will be 1 to 3 bedroom apartments for short-term rental. Mostly, we changed northwest side. There is an outdoor gallery from which people can get into their apartments, and staircases, which are designed like winter gardens. The bird-watching pathway is designed considering the curved shape of the building A, and it reaches a height up to 2 floors. The building B is like a boundary that connects the city and the nature. In the building B, there will be 2 different functions, for public use and for residential purpose. In the building B, we created dynamic silhouettes so it fits into the existing environment and makes a proportional distribution of apartments in the building. On the underground, we planned parking lots and storages. On the first floor, there will be some commercial areas, while on the upper floors, there are 4 different types of apartments. Half of the apartments are provided with private balconies, which highlight the facades. The first floor is higher than others, and on that there's planned green roof terrace. The old museum will be preserved as the basis for raised bird-watching platforms. Idea of the Japanese garden will be continued in the renovated area, creating an organic network of walkways.
For project's technical solutions, we use Saint-Gobain's guide for design of facility buildings to lower carbon emissions and shorten construction time. This provides needed construction U values and other building physiques. Multi-comfort house creates living space that provides comfort in various aspects. Acoustic comfort is ensured by using proper construction materials and the natural sound absorption of existing and new trees. To improve daylight comfort, living rooms and children's rooms are mostly located on southeast side, but bedrooms are on the northwest side. To ensure thermal comfort, living rooms are heated with radiators, but bathrooms and kitchens have heated floors. To create an efficient ventilation system, a mechanical recuperator provides heat exchange combined with natural ventilation. Rainwater collection system gathers water from the roof and are used again for watering plants and toilet water. Buildings meet fire safety, have a small footprint, and are pleasing to the eye. Project offers solutions addressing reduction of non-renewable resources and suggests ways how to reuse and recycle building materials at the end of their life cycle. According to LCA, this project is showing high level of energy efficiency and fits the passive house standard. We believe that symbiosis between nature and the city is the key to better future. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Latvia. So we'll continue. Next team, team number 7 from the UK. Welcome on stage.
Hello, we're the team behind ILA. I'm Rahul Kimji and I'm the architect.
And I'm Isma McDonald and I'm the engineer. We'd like to invite you into the world of ILA. Come on, we've only got 5 minutes.
So if you leave today only remembering one thing, we kindly ask you take this part into consideration because it sums up the entire semantics of our project. So what we've tried to do is create an architectural typology informed by Finnish building traditions led by innovative design. At once, we've tried to be socially responsive and environmentally regenerative. We've created a systematic approach that's ready to evolve with you. What we've done here is we've began by studying various different structural systems. We found that glulam and CLT construction is one of the most efficient and sustainable systems out there. We've then further found out that creating a tight 6x6 grid system creates a very efficient and low embodied energy solution. We've developed a tectonic system that's open-ended, can be integrated both horizontally and vertically, and is ready for prefabricated elements to be slotted in.
There's a focus on sustainability throughout our project, and since timber is the biggest material contributor, we're leasing timber from sustainable forests nearby, from raw goods right up until the disposal. Following this is a focus on the building's whole life cycle carbon, with our route to net zero from extraction to deconstruction.
Here we have our tectonic system. What we've tried to do is take a bottom-up approach and be sustainable from its core. We've used standardized materials for effective reuse, created a tight grid, and our structure is almost created entirely from timber.
This shows the master plan of our project. And with the site view, we have the ILA living and accommodation which has been retrofitted, as well as the pavilions which addresses the duality of Finland's summer and winter climates.
ILA adapts a modular approach. We've created 3 room types. Unit 1, which is a 2-bedroom flat, Unit 2, which is a studio apartment, and Unit 3, which is a 3-bedroom for flat share or small families. These various different room types allow flexibility, and with the SIP panel separating each of the rooms can easily be combined to create larger living units and facilitate different dynamics of living. Here we have a typical floor plan showing Unit 1 and Unit 2.
The interior view shown here shows the integration of our shared, semi-communal and private spaces.
Here we have the ground floor, which is a permeable series of blocks that contain social and recreational functions of the building. For example, we have our social space, wellness center, workspace, and lobby. Here we have the basement floor of our building, which houses the parking as well as building services, and of course our wellness center with a long pool and sauna. Here we have our passive technology system which we've introduced to our building, and most significantly we've introduced a series of sliding screens. When these sliding screens are shut, they achieve a thermal barrier and a U value of 0.7. When they're open, they allow optimal daylight to enter the building, and the beauty of this system is the users can easily change it and have autonomy over their space.
For the materials, we wanted a tight envelope to ensure occupancy and comfort, so we implemented a thick insulation layer which wraps around the whole building, with an additional layer on the green roof and solar panels, with the interior walls and floors having a noise reduction.
So here we have ILA Square. So ILA Square is designed to connect the Viki campus with a wider Helsinki community. We've created this space for outdoor events and marketplaces adjacent to the Gardenia Center to create a very integrated scheme with the wider community.
The accommodation for researchers is our retrofit. We've kept the exterior structure whilst adjusting the interior layout to include studio apartments, whilst also tightening the thermal envelope to optimize occupancy comfort. The program for this includes the social space on the ground floor, as well as living units and common rooms on the further up floors.
Here we have our summer pavilion. The summer pavilion connects the existing Japanese garden with the new amphitheater that we've created. The amphitheater is a beautiful space for students to be enjoyed outdoor. And the main attraction of this amphitheater is a beautiful stone building which acts as a monumental backdrop to the ILA performance stage. We strongly believe the future is systemic.
The future is ILA. Thank you.
Thank you, Team UK. You go. And let's welcome on stage team number 8 from Lithuania.
Hello everyone, good morning. My name is Valdes, and on behalf of the team I will be presenting our proposal called Wiki 3. The intro slide, sorry. So in essence, this project positions history as an element we reinterpret with contemporary significance. Our aim is to find a meaningful connection between the past, present, whilst also thinking about a possible future or a strategy for the future. So from the outset, we examined the site through a historic lens to understand its urban condition, and a key finding for us was the fact that the site had a mixed character of, on the one hand, a kind of modern university campus with contemporary buildings, and on the other hand, a kind of rural character of mainly kind of farming buildings that are of smaller scale with slope-proof kind of forms. So that context became the basis for the urban concept, which in essence is about connecting these two sides of the campus and its built heritage by creating a new link, a network of pedestrian pathways and public spaces of different character, and blending that with natural elements. So this is the kind of axonometric view. Master plan, kind of showing this relationship of the different parts. And building A, in its present condition, is an office building. So the brief was to transform this building into a temporary housing for researchers and as well to have some research facilities. So the idea was fairly simple for us. We wanted to have bigger housing units, so we opted for a decision to move the circulation path by creating a gallery structure on the northern side and to propose a loggia structure on the southern side, which would serve as a sheltered outdoor space. To accommodate additional programmatic requirements, we decided to do an extension, and that's where the research facilities are, and it's an autonomous part of the building. In terms of strategy for sustainability, we propose developing an improved building envelope and the introduction of renewables such as PV cells, mechanical ventilation with heat recovery, geothermal heat pumps, and these are of course of high significance to achieve a higher sustainability standard. So the elevations, yeah, and the kind of character we aim for. So building B, well, the idea of the composition was to arrange it in a way that the volumes allow to see gardenia from the main axes, at the same time emphasizing perimeter lines and creating public and semi-public spaces which are part of this wider network. The program is arranged in 2 wings connected by a see-through volume. And the construction, the idea for the construction was to have a mixed construction of CLT and concrete, but we also thought of other kind of passive design elements which could enrich the design. And one of those is this atrium on one of the volumes, which works as a light well and also a kind of passive design element or a regulatory system for the interior spaces. The materiality of the facades again. And of course, using this mixed construction has greatly improved life cycle assessment data. Of course, there are certain peculiarities, but One of them is, of course, the fact that you have to substantially insulate the CLT facade. But yeah, this is the kind of character we aim for. And yeah, kind of collage showing this relationship with the pre-existing buildings, Gardenia particularly. Area C is currently empty, and the existing agriculture museum is not used, with its collection moved to another building. So the idea is to turn this area into a vibrant community space that could progressively change according to community needs, and hopefully serve as a catalyst for further development and the eventual reconstruction of the existing museum building. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Lithuania. Next up, let's welcome team number 9, Italy.
Good morning, everyone. In Italy, they say it only takes 5 minutes to enjoy a perfect espresso. Will it be enough time to make you savor our design project? We are Marco, Barbara, and Emanuele, and today we are presenting you Vehrea. It means green in Finnish, but it also stands for Viki Inclusive Housing, Regeneration of an Eco-Based Area, a sentence that emphasizes our goals. 2 key elements stand out in Viki district, the university campus and the nature reserve. Indeed, natural phenomena were a source of inspiration to us, especially the sinuosity of the northern lights. 3 concepts together form the form of the building: inclusivity, permeability, and modularity. We can see how the volume fits into the lot by creating an urban frame that communicates both with the neighborhood and the nature reserve. At the center of the square, we have an open-air theater. Going south, we reach the ex-museum converted into an equestrian center. Next to it is located a new greenhouse that serves also as covered path in winters. From here, you can take a peek of the new residential building by the steps of the open-air theater. Starting with the renovation project, we focused on saving as much as possible. By maintaining the concrete structure, we avoid producing additional carbon emissions, so we redesigned the internal walls and main facades. The ground floor features a kindergarten and private saunas for the residents, while in the upper floors there will be 12 duplex apartments. As we can see from the facades, glass is the main character of the composition, as it brings natural light into the building.
Moving to the new construction, it is composed by 4 residential floors and 2 public floors that feature co-working spaces, food courts, a gym, and saunas. From the first floor plan, it is visible that all these spaces not only face outwards, but also to the interior greenhouse. The public spaces are indicated both in section by the double heights and in the facades by the curtain wall that contrast with the opaque upper portion of the envelope. The facade is characterized by a photovoltaic coating, but we will analyze it later in the energetical insights. Now, going back to architecture, the residential compound presents different types of units that fit together like a Tetris puzzle. From each floor plan, we can see that there are paths crossing the central void and defining common areas. Each unit can have 3 different setups thanks to sliding panels that ensure flexibility of private and shared spaces. From the lighting analysis we conducted, we showed the benefit of having a double exposure. As a matter of fact, the greenhouse serves as a secondary lighting source that improves illumination uniformity in each room. Now we'll show you all the apartments. We have the 3-room one designed on 2 different levels. The studios, so standard and deluxe according to the floor area. And the accessible studio, specifically designed to be barrier-free. All the units face the central greenhouse that becomes the beating heart of the building.
Let's move on to the energetical analysis. We identified 5 passive strategies that promote the energy efficiency of the building, such as a green roof system or a Pareto dynamic facade. As active strategies, we have a photovoltaic coating and a geothermal system that will cover the heating and cooling demand of the building. Going into the envelope details, its elements are entirely prefabricated and feature wood as both load-bearing and insulating material, as a matter of fact that the external ETICS is made of cork panels. The structure is composed by a frame of glulam columns and beams with an external timber frame shell and cross-laminated timber slabs. We decided to use this type of solution thanks to the benefits given by this biogenic material. The Pareto dynamic wall is able to take advantage of the gap in the ventilated facade to regulate the temperature both in winter and summer. The photovoltaic facade will supply more than 60% of the annual electric demand of the building. In the end, the LCA show that we are in a Class A of Carbon Heroes benchmark and getting close to the carbon neutrality thanks to the balance of footprint and print. We hope you could see our vision for Virea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kitos.
Thank you, Team Italy. And let's welcome on stage team number 10, Bulgaria.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Christos Zunov and I have the pleasure to present you my project Unity, Zero Energy Prefab Habitat. The project site is located close to the city center of Helsinki in the University District Viki, north from the nature reserve known as Bird Paradise in the center of the city. The site analysis observes a lack of connectivity in the context. The goal of the project concept is the unity of the surroundings. The composition strategy follows the continuations of the existing buildings, creating a distinctive volume that embraces the whole space. Here you can see how it looks like. On the axonometry are visible all the elements of the context. The street crossing the complex is converted into a pedestrian street with restricted vehicle access, which unifies the space, making it more pleasant for a rest, and able to be a transition between city and nature. The new building is at the northern part of the complex. Its south facade is open, facing the nature reserve. Its north facade is glazed, forming big public space in front of it and connecting to the existing building of Gardenia by using the same exterior materials. The new building consists of 5 residential floors and a commercial ground floor connected to an underground parking. The residential part has 3 types of apartments with 2 bedrooms and single-space studios. The shape and the exact angle of inclination of the building are a design result of the sun path in Helsinki, which means that every apartment has optimal daylight and even more. Own terrace with own garden and a south view towards the nature park. The common spaces look to the city and the square in front of the building. One of the sustainable strategies of the building is the zoning of heated and unheated spaces. The heated volume is much smaller and the unheated one serves as an additional insulating space. The floor slab made of CLT panels and the installation detail of the windows prevent thermal bridges. The combination with Saint-Gobain materials complies with the requirements for acoustic, thermal comfort and air tightness. The south facade has building integrated photovoltaics, which contributes for the architectural presence, and combined with the geothermal heat pump and the passive ventilation, make the building zero energy. The construction of the building is made of prefabricated glulam elements forming fixed connection between each other. This enhances the structure efficiency and has a lot of advantages such as precision, speed building process and lower cost. On the structural prototype, you can observe the structure of timber frames, the joints between the elements, and one of my favorite things, the stair. The building complies with the requirements for energy efficiency and lighting autonomy and has Class A for life cycle impact. The renovation of the existing office building is part of the Unity concept and respects the already existing. The annex follows the continuation of the existing volume, keeps the facade rhythm, and increases the height and the verticality so that they flow into the new building. The dismantling operations are minimal and mainly interior in order to preserve the facade and adapt the function. The renovated building has 4 residential floors and a public ground floor provided for students and visiting researchers. The residential part has 32 studios of 45 square meters with own accessible bathroom and kitchen. The meeting rooms have adaptive distribution, nature of daylight, view to the garden, and sound-absorbing walls. The material usage provides acoustic and thermal comfort. The building has passive ventilation, rainwater usage system, and geothermal heat pump, and Class A for life cycle impact. Part of the green zone of the project is the Museum of Viki, which has a very strong relationship with the nature due to its location. The concept for its renovation is to be converted into a transition between city and nature, a place with room for all. This way, the museum is going to be part of the bird paradise in the center of the city, stimulating the biodiversity, and will preserve its function of a museum for live, free, migrating birds. Thank you for your attention.
This way, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Team Bulgaria. And next up, let's welcome team number 11 from Portugal.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having us. We are team number 11 from Porto, Portugal. I'm Pedro. Alongside me are Francisco and João, and we are happy to present Sieni Park, a project built upon the principles of simplicity, innovation, and sustainability. Our process started with a simple question. How can you create an urban space that harmonizes with the natural beauty of Viki while effortlessly linking nearby homes, workplaces, and the university campus?
That's a great question. By strategically positioning a new compact building along the street, we create a design concept that is both simple and impactful, offering welcome outdoor areas enriched by multifunction wooden structures known as Sieni. These structures, inspired by the organic shape of a mushroom, act as hubs for park activities such as a coffee shop or a study center, promoting social interaction and fostering a strong sense of community. Their innovative design in glue lam and recycled materials includes a rainwater collecting roof for sustainability. A key aspect of the renovation is the addition of a new CLT facade with moving solar panels and a green roof, which reduces the building's carbon footprint and unifies all the elements of the park under one coherent design language. From the existing building, we kept its original street-facing facade and its structure while making minor changes to partition walls to better accommodate the new program. From the entrance, we are greeted by the view of Sieni and the park. The lower floor features common areas such as saunas and co-working spaces, while the upper floors houses the studio apartments. The studios are compact, prioritizing natural crossing ventilation and natural light. Private light glass walls offers the residents flexibility to choose between privacy or openness to the corridor. And the use of greener walls, an extensive green roof and solar panels on the CLT facade, they move to shade the corridor, further enhance the building's sustainability and functionality.
With the position of the new building, we created a filter between the city and the park. And through the use of the mushroom shapes in the facade, we ensure the connection between the green and urban environments. Here, the Sieni are reimagined as pillars that support the building's simple and easy to assemble CLT structure. The building composes of 5 blocks with 3 apartments and a private sauna per floor. Shared amenities like a yoga studio and a gym are located on the first 2 floors. And in the roof there are
2 patios accessible to all residents that offer wonderful views over Helsinki. Even with different typologies, all the apartments follow the same design principles. Each has a generous balcony with a glass enclosure, ensuring it's used even during Finland's harshest winters. And as a general rule, the apartments have both eastern and western facades in order to assure cross-ventilation and better natural light. For greater flexibility and future-proofing, the walls between dwellings align with the building structure, and in 3-bedroom apartments, layouts can be changed through the use of retractable walls, making it easy to accommodate different lifestyles.
Given the abundance of natural light, we use highly efficient glass and then a facade system that regulates the light entering the apartments. Developed with folding and rotating panels, this system creates an adaptable facade, giving the building a dynamic and ever-changing appearance. What? This one. All the walls and slabs are chosen to guarantee maximum acoustic and thermal comfort and adapted to include underfloor heating, obviously guaranteeing a high level of fire protection. Furthermore, we have a comprehensive sustainability strategy. We use solar panels on the roof that give more energy than the building consumes, so the surplus is given to the city. Between the solar panels, there's an extensive green roof that retains water for the residents to use. A passive ventilation and heating system eliminates the need for polluting solutions, and the geothermal energy system, coupled with the underfloor heating, warms the building naturally. All these systems work in harmony to create an eco-friendly and self-sustaining building that complements our holistic approach to design. Sieni Park sets an inspiring model for sustainable urban development in Finland and showcases architecture's crucial role in building a greener and more resilient future through a human-centered approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Portugal. Let's welcome team number 12 from Romania.
Hello. Trio of the Northern Greens is about creating a sustainable and harmonious urban space, hosting a vibrant community, and connects people with nature. The keywords of our project are connectivity, sustainability, and integration. Urbanization strategy was to create a dialogue with the existing natural and built environment, providing a new landmark with a distinct visual identity. The ensemble connects seamlessly with nearby points of interest like the campus, Arcus, Gardenia, Museum, and the Japanese Garden. The museum's identity is preserved and integrated into the project without alteration, as the project brief demanded. By using Finland's Saint-Gobain products and with natural elements like cardinal orientation, sunlight, and wind, our design minimizes its environment footprint. Integration into a site also means respecting the historical and cultural heritage. Our design represents a modern interpretation of traditional Finnish houses, bringing a cultural connection to the urban-rural landscape. Our concept focused on building a dwelling-dedicated ensemble on a commercial and co-working base, facilitating a gradual transition between public and private spaces. The ensemble opens to Gardenia with an urban plaza and connects to Arcus and Museum via pathways and gardens. Generous ramps ensure smooth transition between the street and the inner plaza, encouraging exploration of the public terrace which extend the co-working spaces. The upper floors are dedicated to apartments, offering privacy and comfort to residents. Our building combines natural light, solar panels, and sustainable wastewater management and high-performance system to enhance comfort and energy efficiency. For ensure visual comfort, we prefer natural lighting and energy-efficient LED lighting. Acoustic comfort is achieved through strategic building planning and advanced acoustic installation, such as Isover Acoustic and Weber Comfort Light, Thermal comfort is improved through underfloor heating system, geothermal heating pumps, and photovoltaic panels. We have integrated mechanical ventilation systems to maintain superior air quality. Green spaces act as noise and pollution barriers while offering pleasant views.
We used a range of Saint-Gobain products, such as fire resistance plasterboard from Gyproc to ensure long fire resistance, Eyes over Premium 33, and Saint-Gobain Cool Light Extreme for thermal performance requirements. Our building prioritizes circularity and sustainability by using low-impact materials such as cross-laminating timber, which is renewable and has a low carbon footprint. Also, we used local materials to reduce transport emissions and support local economies. The demolition materials were used with aggregates repurposed for new basement concrete, minimizing waste and reducing further environmental impact. The rehabilitation of the building in Zone A started from the careful conservation of the pre-existing elements with a contemporary approach to integrate the building into the urban context. We preserved the original curtain facade and added an additional floor as an adaptation of the existing building to the general character of the ensemble. A taller element was integrated to serve as a new visual reference point. And we integrated also 4 smaller buildings to diversify the space usage. 2 key features were preserved. The curved shape, which creates a welcoming feeling, and a curtain facade, which provides visual permeability between the interior and the exterior. The building has become a cultural and educational hub, hosting various events and functions. And to enhance the building overall efficiency, thermal efficiency, and modern aesthetic, we used high quality windows from Saint-Gobain. The building, double ventilated facade, shading devices, controlled ventilation, and well-insulated low U-value walls enhance year-round comfort, thermal efficiency, and sustainability. Trio of the Northern Greens isn't just a vision, it's a commitment. We are dedicated to a future where our community thrives and environment flourishes. With Saint-Gobain products, we are promoting eco-friendly, future-proof development. Our projects seamlessly integrate built spaces with nature, fostering a vibrant community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Romania. Let's continue with team number 13, Croatia. Welcome.
Hello, everyone. We are Eva and Carla from Croatia, and this is a presentation about our building 6x6 living. We are going to begin by talking about our idea. We try to understand what are the new needs when it comes to living spaces. Also, climate changes are a big factor in our everyday lives, so we gravitated toward renewable buildings and materials. With that in mind, we designed a complex that is modern, flexible, and uses reusable materials. It was made from cross-laminated timber in 6x6 modules, 6x6 meter modules.
These diagrams shows our thinking process while designing the site. There was an emphasis on a flow from residential towards natural. The new promenade connects buildings with green areas, including gardenia with Japanese garden and new botanical garden in the old museum.
First is the building in Zone A. We transformed the old building into the modern residential building with commercial and other functions on the ground floor. We used load-bearing structure from the old building and improved it with CLT extensions. Here you can see a dynamic envelope that corresponds to our new building in Zone B. Apartments are bright and comfortable, while the site is designed as public with lots of greenery.
This leads us to Building B. Here we designed a 5-story building with underground parking and public and commercial spaces on the ground floor. As it is seen on the screen, our building geometry is marked by terraces, allowing each floor access to an outdoor space. Each our apartment is made of multiple CLT structural units, and there is possibility of adding more of them in the future. Our living spaces are flexible and user-friendly, so every resident can make it their own. As already mentioned, our main material is CLT because it has a lot of advantages such as carbon storage, fast installation, and here you can see 2 structural details of our building. We used Isover, Rigips and Weber solutions to achieve passive house standard. As you can see, our energy efficiency rating of the building is A+, with a heat demand of 11.86, so it is our life cycle assessment.
Finally, there is Zone C. Here we preserve museum stone walls and design botanical garden. It features Mediterranean, evergreen, domestic, orchid, and exotic garden, and it is a meeting point and a new promenade. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Croatia. Next up, team number 14, Spain. Welcome.
Good morning, I'm Uk.
And I'm Aina, and we're going to present our project, White Light. The proposal is located on the outskirts of Helsinki, next to a bay and a natural reserve, where the urban space is touched with the natural space. That is why our proposal seeks to merge these 2 elements. The new building seeks to follow the logic of the current existing buildings, extending the curvature of the current office building and repeating the glazed facade of the Gardenian, generating a cohesive combination. The central space is dominated by a large sea of grass that between the buildings and a large mass of trees that blend into the Japanese garden. The 2 new buildings are spaced just apart enough to avoid shading in winter. They are stretched on the side to create a varied commercial area and a car park on the north side. In Helsinki, the buildings are curved to the south to have the maximum surface exposed to the sun rays, where the apartment opens up. In Helsinki, the lack of natural light is one of the main causes of depression, so we aim to make the most of what light there is. These rooms are formed by a core where all the common spaces are located, and then this is extended with 1, 2, or 3 private rooms, such as bedrooms or offices. The cross structure of CLT defines the space, leaving large openings that allow light to enter through the building. And all the space is connected by sliding doors, giving freedom to distribute the activities to suit up the residents. The south-north are extensions of the common area during the days, and at night they are closed off to become bedrooms. Alongside the common areas are communal spaces such as laundry, a meeting point, or a co-working space.
The building is a thermally isolated CLT box, which opens to the south to let in as much light as possible and close hermetically to all other directions. The south facade grows with a glazed gallery, creating a bright space with excellent views for the residents. And this architectural feature will also serve to minimize heating needs in autumn and spring months. On the north side, there are access corridors to the flats, giving a double skin that protects the building from the cold wind. And the arrangement of cupboards will produce a storage space and thermal cushion at the same time, where the resident can leave all their outdoor clothes, keeping the snow outside of the interior. On the roof, there are a thick layer of vegetation, giving a high level of insulation increased in winter by the snow. And in the lower part, there are an underground commercial area. As we see in winter, the solar radiation can cross all the flat, lighting all the rooms. And in summer, the cross ventilation refresh enough the building. We propose two systems, a ventilation ground heat exchanger and a geothermic heat pump that placed below the sea level will increase greatly their efficiency. This, combined with a wastewater heat recovery and a ventilation heat recovery, will minimize the energy needs of our building. And in the existence office building is renovated, adding 2 new grounds and accentuating the characteristic glazed facade. Inside, the same strategy is applied. The same strategy is applied as in the new buildings. A capsule isolated, surrounded by 2 galleries. And in the lower part, they are workshop space for the community. We use a lot of Saint-Gobain products in our building to achieve a thermal and acoustic isolation, because the exterior in Helsinki is so cold and we are next to a tram line. And we use different Saint-Gobain glasses in each enclosure according to their specific needs of light transmission or thermal isolation. And finally, thanks to the construction with wood, the products of Saint-Gobain, and the implementation of passive system, we managed to reduce at maximum the carbon footprint and climatize our building without needing fossil energies. Thanks for listening to us.
Thank you. Thank you, Team Spain. We have one more to go before a break, so let's welcome team number 15, Serbia.
So, anybody remembers the story about the City of Streams? I believe it was in Finland, Helsinki. Or should I say Helsinki first, because it literally means city on streams. I will tell you that story, but first let me introduce myself. My name is Luka, and this is the stream. First, let's talk about history. We have 2 parallel timelines. One is about citizen population, from which we can assume future city capacity. And the other one is about structures, from which we can conclude the main identity motives, and those are monolith structures and human-scale architecture. In Wiki, we had a few different structures, so we decided to preserve as much entity as possible, but put everything under the same roof. So Helsinki Force, Helsinki Streams. The original idea was to implement the biodiversity into the structures like the stream goes throughout the canyon. So we put everything under the same roof and make one coherent story. So we can see on the perimeter how we use the monolith structures to some kind of biodiversity shield for the inner sensitive content. Of course, nothing was accidental. There was a lot of proportional tests. So the final result is a semi-public area that goes throughout public and private units and make everything blend together. With a few simple steps, demolishing the L object on the corner, nature addition, and uniting structures, the final form is then physically tested, so statically we had no problem.
Planning was, of course, subordinated by the users and their movement, so that's why everything is so easy, accessible, and easy to use. And what's most important, it can be built throughout phases. Let's renovate the roof of the curved object and place the very well-known function of geologically biological experimentation. So now it looks like this. What about the old museum? So we revitalize it and put the easy removable market for the products from urban farming in the park. So now we can implement the Finnish famous oats, barley, rye, and wheat. This dominant copperish structure is much more than sun shading system. It's actually also a water collecting system that drains the water throughout the columns all the way down to the garage and collected and purified it. Then that water is later on used for plant irrigation, for heat pumps, and for sanitary water, of course. The complex has its own bar, library, kindergarten, where we can see the children from our own home. Of course, there's a restaurant and a gym, but what's most fascinating about the complex is its construction, made from recycled concrete, terrazzo, and CLT, cross-laminated timber. First, because the demolished object was partly made of CLT, and the other reason is that Finland is the most forested country in Europe. So the program has 1-room apartments, 2-room apartments, 3-room apartments, and of course some resting and working area on each and every floor, with living and sleeping areas, kitchen and bathroom. Of course, every apartment has the storage, because Scandinavian style is not the same if you put the vacuum cleaner in front of our TV, right? If we talk about sustainability and technical systems, we have vertical ventilation channels, recuperations of air, solar panels, and much more Saint-Gobain products that helped us achieve the A class in LCA testings. Using these products, we achieved that, and I was frankly very, very amazed with the Saint-Gobain products. So at the end of the day, we can feel, see, hear, and live better. My name is Luca, and this is the stream.
Thank you. That was the last team for session 1. We will have more. But what do you think? Do we deserve a break? What does the jury think? Yes?
Yes. We all agree we deserve a good break. And
Okay, welcome back all. I think we have everyone back in their seats. So welcome to session number 2. Some reminders of the presentation guidelines for our next 14 teams. Each team has 5 minutes, 5 for the presentation, and you will have a timer over here in front of you on the stage to help you keep track of time. And when the time is up, the microphone will turn off. And after your presentation, please stay here for a photo, and you will get your certificates as well. And then we will continue with the next team. Right?
Right.
Yes?
Yes, but I think you forgot to mention the Facebook and the camera.
Ah, once more. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Good reminder. So, in the back of the room, we have the cameras, which are filming all of us and you presenters, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. So, here we are.
Hello. And here is the order of the presentations. So you can have a look at it. But anyway, we will call you on stage. When the team before yours goes on stage, please go and see Justine here in the corner to get ready for your presentation.
Yes, and once more, we remind you that there is no questions and answer session after a presentation, but you will have this mandatory feedback session from the jury tomorrow morning from 9 to 12. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
So Claudia will call you on stage for this session.
Yes, yes, but before, take a deep breath and smile.
Yes.
And good luck to everyone of the session 2, and we will resume with team 16 from Lebanon.
Hello, I'm Reem.
Ralph. Faour.
And we come from the Lebanese University in Lebanon, obviously. And this is our project, EcoHabitat. Recognizing the fundamental role of nature in our well-being, we embraced this concept and tried to integrate it in our spaces. At the edge of one of the green fingers of Helsinki, the site stands between scattered traditional farming structures and agricultural fields on one side, and the contemporary urban fabric and the university campus on the other side. This contrast inspired the concept for our project. So conceptually, the form and the color are both inspired by traditional farmhouses in Helsinki. With a garden at its core, covered by a greenhouse, a comfortable microclimate is created. Living zones extend, blending the indoors and the outdoors. In the winter, the greenhouse work as heat catchers, while in the summer, the roof windows open up to allow natural ventilation. Transparent solar cells provide energy, and rainwater is collected and stored. The unit's disposition follows the periphery of the site. Community spaces are located around its center. Instead of us working for our home, we envision a home that works for us. 2 principal axes branch out from the university campus and spread into multiple smaller ones to help us guide through the project. The landscape is a series of piazzas, gardens, and an ice skating arena. Around its center, 5 ecological units are placed and created for the so-called circular economy. To match the new construction, the same approach was implemented on the adaptive reuse building, on a conceptual, functional, and visual level by adding 2 greenhouses, changing the northern facade with minimal impact on the southern facade. On the ground floor, we created one big common space hosting many activities, and the roof's building became one public terrace for the residents to enjoy.
Moving on to the new housing units.
the volumes were purposely more slanted towards the south, allowing more sun exposure. However, the openings were limited on the northern facades. Every greenhouse has a particular form, so each apartment is one of a kind. The glass courtyards are separated, yet strongly linked, functionally through the underground and the landscaping, and visually through the continuous disposition of the greenery throughout the units, creating an uninterrupted flow of space and circulation. A courtyard was implemented in the parking, functioning as a central access to it and making the space less repelling. Forms create multiple levels of gardens. A common courtyard on the ground floor, we start discovering private gardens and terraces as we go up. Access to apartments varies, so does the relationship between them. Harvesting spreads through the units, so consumption and production coexist. Each apartment is crafted into a specific atmosphere, exploiting spaces into full potential. All units have direct contact with the courtyards and the outdoors. The common spaces, circulation layout, and the overall logic of the greenhouse enhances bonds and social interactions among residents.
Moving on to the cultural spaces, a birdwatch tower stands on the limit of the Japanese garden overlooking the neighboring reserve. After removing the roof, the museum that once was the host becomes the subject of admiration through placing a light structure library within its walls. Alongside the greenhouses, a resistive heat generator and a geothermal system were installed to help the units withstand the harsh climate condition. To eliminate traffic noise, a green buffer zone sits on the limit of the site. The construction is entirely wooden, except for the concrete foundation and the glass skin. Most of the materials are locally resourced, ecologically produced, with a low carbon footprint, rendering the LCA of the project to 193, a Class A sustainable, eco-friendly building. The details of the carbon footprint of such construction method is 65% lower than common concrete construction. The details of the building are covered in our study, all while using Saint-Gobain materials.
This project envisions a model that not only hosts environmental and financial benefits, but also fosters a genuine sense of community. It aims to reconnect people with nature and shift the model from consumption-centric to production-oriented. It strives for sustainability on the long run and serves as a blueprint for future construction projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Team Lebanon. Thank you, Team Lebanon. And now welcome on stage Team 17 from China.
Okay, good morning. We're incredibly honored to be here representing Tongji University from China and to present our project, Minimal Lab. But why minimal, you may ask? Well, for us, it's because we had enough. Nowadays, buildings are often torn down before they reach their full potential, but our approach is different. Through reuse, recycle, and remanufacture, we aim to maximize satisfaction with minimal intervention. After the analysis, we decide to keep building A and the size vibe. The new building rises from existing curves. Horizontally, it links up the existing buildings, and vertically, it provides a transition from urban to nature. Two strategies were applied on site with different focuses: minimal waste for this part and minimal intervention for the more natural areas. So what exactly is minimal waste?
Well, let's dig into this strategy. First up, Building A gets a makeover, not a teardown. We're saving all the structures while updating the functions for meet the needs of the visiting researchers. As you can see in the plans, everything in red was kept, while everything in blue could be easily recycled afterwards. However, Building B is a different story. It needs to be rebuilt. But we are not tossing everything. While deconstruction, we're sorting materials into reuse and remanufacture. Formal ones like wood, windows, and claddings are directly reused on site, while steel, gypsum, and concrete are made into something like paving stones or interior walls. By this means of urban mining, we're turning something old into something new and valuable. Still in the plans, everything in red was directly reclaimed, and everything in blue could be easily recycled afterwards. Just check out the elevation. Those windows and claddings, yes, they're directly reclaimed on site and shining in their second act of life. We don't stop at materials. Our strategy for insulation and energy use is smart, so that we can cut costs and carbon. The strategy also varies differently according to the seasons. Moreover, with the help of the BIM system, we are able to build a digital twin of our building, so that we can monitor and adjust the entire building's energy use just with our mobile phone. When it's time for the building to come down again, thanks to the BIM system, we are ready to sort all the materials and reuse them all over again. This could keep our commitment to sustainability strong from start to finish. With all what was mentioned, we are able to create an atmosphere that respects the past, embrace the present, and support a sustainable future. Whether you're cooling off in summer or cozying up in winter, our building could be enjoyed all year long. So, what's about the natural areas?
Well, let's switch to our second strategy, the minimal intervention on the landscape. This strategy helps us to preserve the nature as well as site's history, which is mainly about the stone wall. We use architecture leftovers to build a new pavilion alongside the wall. It not only enhances view, but also it can support the old structure. It looks like this. And also with architecture leftovers, we build several wood tents to encourage people to dive into nature with full respect to local wildlife. You can see the tent opens the top for birds, and it is lifted up for land creatures. So in short, our minimal intervention is diverse, bio-friendly, and sustainable. With all the methods mentioned above, we made the Wiki community a laboratory. We see all buildings like material banks, and with our method of reuse, recycle, and remanufacture, and with the help of the BIM technology, we can make these material banks even smarter and more precise. And of course, the LCE calculation of our solution is much better than the baseline, even reaching the first class. So to sum up, we created a new multifunctional community, which could also fulfill its social responsibility to accommodate different types of tenants, and even providing jobs for them while maintaining a sustainable and creative lifestyle. In Wiki, we have established a minimal waste community and implemented minimal intervention ideas in the landscape. Thus, we have created a solid manifesto.
The Minimal Lab. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Team China. And now welcome on stage Team 18 from Slovakia.
Hi, my name is Adam, and I'm from Slovakia, and I would like to present you the Gardenia residence, starting with Zone B. The entire project is designed to unite University Campus and Research Center into one united area. The main aspects of the project was transparency, accessibility to the public, and connecting new structures to existing urbanism. The project also brings new qualities into the area, such as new tram station, workout, retail stores, or multicultural center. All the green spaces and public spaces are seamlessly connected into the one. Inside the city block are located the bike stands for the residents, and whole park is connected to the Japanese garden using a small islands. Parking in front of the gardenia was relocated to the site, so it made place for new buildings. Underground parking is divided into two separated objects placed under the buildings. So its footprint was reduced to allow growing trees inside the city block. On the ground floor are mainly located small commercial activities such as co-working, retail stores, fitness center, or saunas. From the upper or second floor are located the apartments. On the smaller floor are mainly located smaller apartments, and on the upper floors are the bigger ones. Entire residential area has a modular CLT system, which allows to modify the sizes of the flat, changing the flat mix basically on terms of lighting requirements or investors' needs. On the upper floors, there's even possibility to create two-story apartments, as you can see here, and with a huge living area. In the building, there are located various eco-friendly solutions, such as photovoltaic panels or grey water recuperation. Entire acoustic and thermal requirements were achieved using mainly Saint-Gobain products. And here we can see the results. So now we are moving to the zone A. Entire administration building was cleared to its supporting skeleton, which allowed me unlimited redesign of the building. There were placed CLT wooden panels, which greatly reduces carbon footprint of the building. Inside the building, there are only two types of the apartments. On lower floors are apartments with front gardens, and on the upper floors are apartments with loggias. Both types of the apartments are two-story apartments, which greatly improves the economics on the building because there's only one horizontal communication on the second floor. So the building features residential green roof and attractive public spaces in front of it. For example, kids' playground and workout. And now we are moving to museum building, which was recreated into multifunctional cultural space. The new structure was inbuilt inside the existing building, preserving its exterior walls. New structure has glazed facades, so the visitors can enjoy their event while feeling the old spirit of the stone structure. And this is how it looks. Thank you for your attention.
Slovakia. Thank you. Here, this way, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much, Team Slovakia. And now, welcome on stage, Team 19 from India.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. It gives me immense pleasure to be presenting my country today at the ASC 2024. I'd like to take you through my project, the CoHab, which intends to be a student district in the Wiki precinct. I am Srivibhu Viraj from India, and I represent my college LSR. Every design, I think, is a culmination of a process that still is undergoing for me, I feel. And I would like to take you through this design in the aspect of a process rather than just the final outcomes. For me, being from India, not knowing much about Helsinki was a whole learning experience. Getting to know the culture of this beautiful city made me to realize how can we re-look at this urban experience that a Helsinki city for its futuristic prospects requires. So that's where I look at integrating this aspect into the site of the heritage of Helsinki, the culture of Helsinki, and the people who are going to inhabit the space eventually. The broader context of where the site is situated, it's a very interesting place of a man-made environment, culminating with a natural context, and the site right at the threshold between both of these. So why ignore all these aspects when you can integrate them? So similarly, considering that aspect, looking at this site as that precipice of development for the future, as well as a student district, given the Wiki campus in the proximity, becomes important. And when we talk about students, we need it to be lively. So that was the whole idea of how the site could be activated with multiple ideas. Obviously, the another layer of understanding was the climate. And that is what I tried understanding, because it's very different, and then it helped me build the structure accordingly. Further, giving you an overview of how the design sits on the site, the 4 prominent zones are predominantly there, with minimal understanding or minimal interventions of what exists, considering the limitations of the site. You could always design, the idea was to design with that and create a space that activates all the 4 corners of the sites in multiple ways, so that people and students visiting the campus, living there, can all use it at multiple times for multiple different activities in different seasons. At the same time, it aligns itself with the vision for 2025 that the Helsinki city has, and that also talks about how the edges of the site or the boundaries of the site blurs itself with the larger picture that we are intending to paint. Taking you through a brief understanding of the design, the Site A, that is the commercial building which had to be repurposed into a temporary housing accommodation. Minimal interventions have been done to the existing floor plate to achieve the kind of habitable spaces that were required. At the same time, making it overlooking spaces to the outdoors and creating that kind of interaction, be it physical, mental, emotional, was the kind of understanding of me sensitizing one to the surroundings, given this rich of a context. Just an overview of how the site sits and how the building works. Quickly moving on to an extension of the Site A becomes the Site C, which is the museum. I looked at it as an extension to the building A, wherein this becomes the cultural core of this whole site, which is intended to be that point of interaction for different events, cultural congregations, and students, so a lot of parties. So yeah, that's about that. And the museum then becomes that aspect of memory and a backdrop that serves as a virtual, like a outdoor art gallery, which surrounds a trail and takes you towards the woods as well. So it's like you create paths with the context and what you have on the context, thus connecting and activating different aspects. Next, moving on to the building that is the new construction, that is the Site B. The idea here was to use around 30% of the construction of the site, so that I keep the building as compact as possible to achieve the efficiency in it. The planning happens such that green open spaces drive the lower floors, and the modules that are created have the uppers overlooking these green open spaces. The lower floors become the common areas which have a lot of functions like supermarts, sauna, common recreational spaces, lounge areas where people could always meet and greet, given the weather that we have here, so not always you can go outside. So that's kind of a porosity maintaining at the lower levels. But as you go further, you can always overlook into these urban spaces created around these pods, while the building still, somehow reminisces the culture that the Helsinki city has to provide. Different module typologies were looked at as single bedroom, double room, triple room, based on different kinds of user accommodations that were intended. And the planning has been done such that there is a grid pattern, so that the floor plate configurations could be for each wing and not like a generalized floor plate. So that gives some amount of modularity in the design. And lastly, moving on towards the central core and the overall envelope of the design.
Thank you, Team India. Here, this way, this way, this way, this way. Thank you very much, Team India. And now welcome on stage team 20 from Ukraine.
Hello, dear jury members and contestants. We are Ukrainian team. This is Anastasia.
This is Camilla. And the other team member, Tom, couldn't be here today.
As a result of the urban planning analysis of the site, it has been established that the site is directly adjacent to the main street, which provides a comfortable access to the territory for vehicles and pedestrians. The existing Colombia street has been transformed into a pedestrian zone. They were organized various functional areas. Recreation sport grounds, race bicycle tracks, a green feature with minimal interference, with existing landscaping. Due to the location of the underground parking, it was possible to separate transportation routes from pedestrian. One of the main tasks was to preserve the existing landscaping and do new planting.
Building A renovation. Building A is designed for 20 apartments, which are located on the second and third floor. 4 apartments are designed for low mobility groups, which are located specifically near the elevator. The first floor is for public uses. During the design process, we decided to keep the basic framework of the building. A gallery was added on the western facade, to which all the apartments are adjacent to. The ground floor includes a cafeteria for 50 people, a conference room for 20 people, a library, an archive, and technical facilities. The architectural solution for building A is to improve the exterior with a new outer facade, solid glazings on the side stairwells, and vertical wooden elements. The interiors were built in a Scandinavian style. All the colors were chosen based on the color scheme of the surroundings.
Moving to building B, the arc shapes of which serves as support for the existing building A. This created a dynamic composition thanks to the rounded shapes. On the ground floor, there are public spaces, the gym, bakery, co-working spaces, pharmacy, dry cleaner, and a window. On the building B has 64 apartments, of which 31% are one-room apartments, 54% are two-room apartments, and 13% are three-room apartments, 13% for low mobility group. Each apartment was designed in accordance with design specification with the necessary set of rooms. Due to the different air life, a terrace was designed on the side, the courtyard. The parking lot is one story located under the courtyard, designed for 50 cars. Entrances to the parking lot is from the kitchen. Natural ventilation is achieved by maximizing the area of windows. Optimal air exchange is maintained by CO2 controller. Partitions have additional sound insulation. 85% living spaces receive at least 3.5 hours of insulation.
The slide shows all the necessary components to achieve the technical conditions, namely soundproofing, balcony waterproofing, the absence of thermal bridges, thermal insulation. The main elements of the facade are wooden vertical elements and polygonal prefabricated fiber cement modules. The life cycle assessment reaches level A. The main part of carbon emissions is influenced by the building material component. To increase the building's autonomy, solar panels were added. The energy generated is used by both the buildings and the parking. The energy efficiency rating reaches level A. During the calculations, Finnish regulations were taken into account.
We managed to develop a comprehensive solution to improve the quality of the existing environment and expand for the functional areas within the site. The project provides the residents of the complex with all the necessary infrastructure for a high standard of living and the creation of a unified community.
Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ukraine. Thank you very much. And now welcome on stage Team 21 from Japan.
Hi, we are Team Japan. I'm Jiro Akita.
Kazuki Ohashi.
I'm Taichi Kaga. I'd like to introduce our concept, green layers. We expand the green that already exists in Biki to various scales. Our first step was to analyze the environment. Helsinki has little sunlight, so the layout plan and volumes need to be carefully considered. The wind is blowing from south or southwest in line with incoming sunlight. The site is surrounded by diverse facilities, hosting a wide range of people from students to professors who will need various spaces such as meeting spaces. Based on these analyses, we propose a concept, green layers. We keep the greenery as much as possible while creating spaces for human activities. Green planning, green zoning, including existing trees, creates spaces for humans and natures to coexist.
Now let's look at the specific plans for each zone. First, building A. While making the maximum use of the existing concrete frame, the living environment will be improved by adding an extension on the outside with timber. We propose a large atrium connected to the outside. The composition of the dwelling unit is quite simple, and the room layout is designed to connect the greenery from inside to the outside. The rooms are loosely separated from each other. By adding an extension, we created a coexistence with greenery and provide large terraces for inhabitants. Building C was disconnected from its surrounding. However, by adding an extension, we created various spaces and for showing the exterior walls.
Right, let's move on to the new building. From the existing foundation, we eliminate the area which is in the shadow cast by the building in Zone A, and allow light to reach each dwelling unit equally. This allows us to reuse many foundations and reduce carbon emission. The ground floor is open to public, including sauna and library. The entrances and exits are carefully shielded, but plenty of sunlight shines into the various rooms. The gaps between dwelling unit is shared spaces for residents, which is to be alone away from their home and then to walk with greener views. On a stepped volume, this is a garden accessible to the residents, which is an outdoor opportunity for them of the relaxation and the interaction. The trees around the building will control the heat. Each unit has a sunroom, which will buffer zone of traversed greenery or space. So you can enjoy multiple layers of greenery from a wooden space like this with no obstruction. This is because the sunroom and CLT wall structure ensure the large frontage and sufficient daylight autonomy and sun heat. The rooftop will house a garden, which is the test farm of the university, and enriches the agricultural research of Biki campus. Air, carrying the scent of nature, passes through the common space and atrium. And the main structure is the CLT with appropriate detail of the Saint-Gobain product, which can be sourced from within Finland, that will reduce the transportation energy as well. LCA shows that the proposal can be effectively worked because compared to the baseline, and moreover, we believe the high energy ratio of the future replacement in the red square can be improved by adding and exposing facility pipes on the ceiling of the CLT. So this is a proposal for green layers, a future Biki woven with greenery, which is friendly to both human beings and environment. Thank you for your attention. ありがとう。
Japan. Thank you very much, Team Japan. And now welcome on stage Team 22 from Colombia.
The future isn't a place we're going to. It is a place we have to create. Is this the future we want, or the one our children deserve? Hey, tervetuloa Sisu kasvihuoneeseen. Or in English, hello, welcome to Sisu Greenhouse, cultivating resilient living. My name is Sebastián Ramirez, and I come from Colombia, not Colombia. And today, I'm very excited to embark with you all on unraveling the essence of Sisu. Sisu is a unique Finnish term with no direct translation, yet it encapsulates strength of will, determination, and perseverance in the face of adversity, 3 qualities proper to Finnish people. This is why we chose Sisu as our foundational concept, aiming to embody not only Finnish identity, but also architectural resilience. Furthermore, to continue with our concept focus, we decided to make use of diverse tools to determine 5 key strategies to help us achieve our highly desired comfort stage. Then, we translated those 5 key strategies into the Sisu language, appropriate installations with the help of Saint-Gobain top-tier materials, building orientation, airlocks, and heat pumps. But we didn't stop there. We continued our climatic approach with a rigorous solar path analysis where we determined just how important sun and light were in our design stage. Then, making a comparison with traditional tower building, we found out that making use of pronounced slopes would make us get as much benefit from the sun as possible. Furthermore, it would help us with the snow management while maintaining its initial purpose, passive solar heat gain and light incursions. Moreover, considering Viki's historical identity as an agricultural city, we sought to revitalize its heritage by transitioning from the erosion of Viki's agricultural heritage to the cultivation of sustainable, resilient ways of living. This is why our new open museum is centered around agriculture, aiming to renew heritage once again. As for our concept ethos, we decided to propose 5 key strategies under a compass model to help us establish a new standard or benchmark for a sustainable and socially impactful design. Then, we concluded that Sisu is sustainably vital. Sisu is heritage renewing. Sisu is community unifying. Sisu is skill enhancing. Sisu is resilient spirited. This is Sisu. Then, we combined those 5 key strategies into our master plan called Connecting Sisu Through Urban Veins, in which going green was not an option, but a commitment. This is why we used as many green strategies as possible, allowing us to reduce our energy consumption, reduce our own energy, and treat our own water, allowing us to treat and recycle about 1 million water liters per year. This is our response to having carefully considered bioclimatics from an early design stage, where multi-comfort was a must, because what is important for Saint-Gobain is also important for us, allowing each resident of the project to feel Sisu, hear Sisu, breathe Sisu, and hear Sisu. And to ensure that multi-comfort in our project was a reality, we decided to make use of Saint-Gobain top-tier materials, allowing us to have well-insulated spaces, as well as well-illuminated and pleasant living homes. Regarding Building A, we decided to propose 4 key renovation strategies under Pitte, Mutta, Rettavaksi, and Innovoida, which is to keep, to transform, to adequate, and to innovate. Then, we combined those 4 key strategies to design a new activity contained in a previous space. This allowed us to reduce the cost of new water or electricity lines while utilizing geothermal heating. This is how a good set of materials, along with a community-centered philosophy, can transform anything into a habitable space. Regarding the LCA, our most proud achievement was being able to recycle about 128 windows and lots of concrete from buildings scheduled for demolition. This way, we could reduce our carbon footprint significantly while exceeding the minimum requirements for multi-comfort. At the end, we concluded that it doesn't matter whether it's been 10, 50, or 80 years. We will always try to build a better future for the people. We will always try to make the world a better home. Kiitos paljon kaikille. Thank you, everyone.
Colombia. Thank you very much, Colombia. And now, welcome on stage team number 23 from the UAE.
I'm Arina, joined by Victoria and Alan from third year Bachelor of Architecture, and we present to you the trellis, a lattice framework of interwoven elements designed to blend new developments with existing landscape, creating a sense of community, belonging, and cohesion with nature. With the introduction of the new tramline, Wiki has become a highly accessible space, attracting students, researchers, and local community. Hence, there is a lack of connectivity between zones and leisure spaces. Therefore, Trellis aims to design a socially cohesive community, considering the surrounding context, maximizing green spaces for people to live, work, and thrive. The site involves entry from 4 zones, including access from the research farm and the nature reserve. The central community space connects to the Gardenia, leading to the festival street with picnic spots, playgrounds, sports courts, and skate park. We aim to create a community-centric design.
Now, going beyond physical connectivity, we aim to create a connection between both buildings by transforming the existing Hakulanti Road into a festival street. It acts as a focal point for the people embracing the love for festivals and gathering. Building A and Building B, the existing and the new, have similar facade elements to regard them as a whole for visual harmony. The native plants and coexisting vegetation enhances the green ecosystem. This is the transformation of our site from before to after. It shows how each and every zone is well connected and accessible. We curated our master plan by adding Building B in a geometrical framework that nurtures a link between the Gardenia.
Building B draws inspiration from the structure of a trellis used to support vertically climbing plants. We translated this concept of a diagonal lattice onto our build form, featuring a diagonal void throughout the structure, bringing the outdoors in. Climate change is a globally affecting phenomenon. Considering this, we have involved insulated glass lowers that can be adjusted manually depending upon the climate, such that it can be closed during the winters and opened up during the summers. Each floor has been carefully designed with a particular function catering to the needs of the people. From indoor gardens to play areas, reading nooks, and games, these act as an interaction point for the people. The ground floor has been activated towards the public. On the rooftop, residents can enjoy a beautiful sky sauna, indoor pool, and lounge. Our housing typologies include studios, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom units. In our project, we have utilized various Saint-Gobain products renowned for their innovation. Considering the nearby tramline, we have used Ecophone acoustic panels to reduce noise and create a better environment. Gyprock gypsum plasterboards have been used in internal walls and partitions for their thermal insulation. Additionally, we have also involved Weber waterproofing and iso insulation for their thermal resistance and water resistance.
Our building features 2 main services, such as the mechanical services and ducts to do convenient waste disposal. Our main structure is made of CLT, reducing our carbon footprint, while our basement is made of reinforced concrete. The sustainable construction of the CLT towards decarbonization aligns with the 2035 net zero plan for the future of Finland. We have used ventilation for our thermal comfort with energy-efficient windows. For the visual comfort, we have considered natural ventilation. For the green roof plants help to reduce airborne viruses, while for the acoustics, we have taken insulation. We have achieved an A-grade system in LCA. Furthermore, to improve our energy efficiency, we have installed transparent solar panels, reducing energy efficiency by 30%.
Now, coming to Building A, our focus has been on making it community-friendly, energy-efficient, and versatile. We've kept the glass facade intact to preserve its original character and have minimal demolition inside the building. This ensures that the renovation respects the building's history while incorporating a sustainable feature to benefit both the environment and the people who use the space. The ground floor caters to the researchers and the public with research labs and recreational areas. The housing typologies include studio and 1-bedroom units.
We have embraced sustainability by creating geothermal heating, solar panels, and Saint-Gobain triple glazed windows. Furthermore, we have also used circularity to improve our recycled materials. So I've used vertical glass levers, we use the recycled glass. For outdoor pavements, we use the concrete. For outdoor sauna benches, we use the plywood cladding. Our museum, our proposal for our museum was inspired by a Japanese garden to get inspiration from the historic stone walls, also preserving it. We have used bed washes to maintain the love of finish. Now, user journey. This depicts how each and every space have been designed for them, considering the love for communal engagement, integrating the indoor and outdoor spaces. In conclusion, the project Trellis considers the people and communal engagement. Thank you.
Thank you very much, team of UAE. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi. Thank you very much, team of UAE. And now welcome on stage team number 24 from South Korea.
Good morning, we are Team 24 from Korea University, Jia, Hwani, Dongi. It's an honor to be here. Beginning with the site analysis, the site is located on the boundary between the city and nature, and this nature is a good place for citizens. And there will be more people living and visiting nearby due to the new housing construction and the new tram line. So we aim to make a gateway for these people, bringing nature closer to the life of residents at the same time. For this, currently fragmented flow and green of the site will be improved by creating pathways from the main access point to nature. Along these paths, buildings, greens, and activities will be placed. So this comprises 3 new buildings and 1 innovative building. Additionally, we aim to reflect the Finnish attachment to nature, which is evident in their architecture. It emphasizes interaction with the natural environment and the use of natural light. This approach was adopted by a gesture called Banako. It is a gateway where light and nature become part of everyday life, transforming flat surface into balcony, skylight, and pavilions. Another key point is lifespan maximizing utility core system. The utility cores are placed at regular intervals, and prepared paths are connected to them, organizing spaces. Especially in the long term, this offers substantial benefits. For instance, if the campus needs more office in the future, it can be easily transformed without complete demolition. As you can see, it allows for various composition in terms of unit types and ratio, even with the same structure. At the same time, each housing unit will have Banako spaces where people can enjoy personalized activities with light and nature.
Meanwhile, there are common spaces throughout the building. The double-height community space between the housing units creates a sense of openness and brightens the inside. And the basement community spaces are lit by the Banako skylights. For the renovation, as we previously mentioned, the connection between people and nature is important. So we created a passage through the existing building to overcome the height barrier and disconnections between the 2 sides of the campus. Additionally, we replaced the existing glass facade and added new space, including public area on the 1st floor and the residential area starting on the 2nd floor. The greenhouse is heated by waste heat from the basement's data room, reducing energy consumption. And it improves indoor air quality. The extra heat will be used in special activity spaces on the roof. The existing level difference is not a barrier anymore, but shapes an interactive space between people and nature. To the housing units, the same strategy with Banakos was applied, maximizing views to the outside garden. And the exposed original wall of the remained part reveals each historical layer.
The site is the starting point of nature, which is full of outdoor activities. We changed previous steep steps into a gently sloped garden and an amphitheater where various performances and events take place. In the slope next to Japanese garden, pavilions were naturally blended with topography. And the outdoor exhibition is used in the old museum. The exterior wall of the museum will guide people to the southern beautiful nature. In technical part, high-performance glass-of-glass solutions and recycled lucid insulation improve the thermal comfort. Lightweight aggregate from lacquer are used on the rooftop instead of soil so they lightly overweight. Both interior walls and ceilings have the layer of acoustic insulation of Saint-Gobain products for better living condition. When it comes to materials we use, low carbon concrete reduces emission up to 50% on producing steps, and fossil-free steel shows 56% of a high recycling rate in Finland. And construction waste of the original building were reused as pavement on the site. Geothermal energy and waste heat from underground data center help with the heavy heating load in the project. To reduce heat loss, mechanical ventilations with ERV and UFAD are used with window system UBLO, and barnacles let the sunlight deeply inside the room so that every room can get enough daylight. Rainwater and melted snows recycle for the greenhouse. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you very much, team of Korea, South Korea. Yes, thank you very much, Team South Korea. And now it's time for Team 26 from Egypt. We regret very much, but the team from Egypt cannot be with us this morning as they had some visa issues. But they recorded their 5-minute presentation for us, and we are going to watch it now all together.
Hello, we're introducing our project, The Green Fingers. We're Team Egypt, Rana, Mohammed, and Noor. We really wanted to be with you all here tonight, but unfortunately there were some complications. Starting with the shot of our project, as we all know, our location is Viki, Helsinki in Finland. We were inspired from Helsinki's Green Fingers, and we started integrating green spaces throughout the building, cultivating communal areas that seamlessly blend with the natural surroundings. Here we can see our relationship between the arboretum and our site. In the form generation, we made a continuation of the old building, extruding an extra finger, recessing the masses in this extra finger to maximize sunlight intake. The green fingers were created by the extruding and recessing of the residential units in the building. Here we can see our surroundings on the side, the tram line, and we took the street and made it our main pedestrian path connecting with the museum. This shot shows our existing building and the open market at the start of the building. In the master plan, the voids that were created in the 3 fingers overlooking gardenia and museum, creating an overall connection between the complex. We took the area around the museum, made it an amphitheater, showcasing the items that were once showcased in the museum outside by using holograms and screens.
We treated both masses as one building by keeping the ground floor for the general use and the semi-public spaces, and for the other floors for the residential space. When we started renovating the old building, we kept the exterior of the building as it is, and then we changed the interior spaces to accommodate to the new use for this building. Then we added an external mass. This external mass will act as the communal spaces for users in this building. In this elevation, you can see how we treated the ground floor plan for the general use and the communal spaces for all the users in this building. In the ground floor plan, you can see that we added an empty spaces in landscape to allow the extension of the indoor activities to the outside. In the first floor plan, you can see the extensions that we added in front of the residential units to allow the communal spaces to accommodate the communal activity in this area. We also used CLT material to build this new extension to enhance the thermal comfort and air infiltration in these units. We also changed the glazing of all the glass around this building to enhance the thermal comfort inside the residential units. You can see here an interior shot from the extension point overlooking our new building and the landscape for the outside of the building.
Moving on to the new building, we can see here the courtyard engulfed by the two residential fingers. We've added playground, which is provided with natural surveillance, provided with the surrounding residential units. And we've added seatings in the courtyard for the commercial and communal spaces present in the ground floor. We've also added a co-working space with urban steps to connect our project with the existing gardenia and other parts of the project as well. We've added triple bedroom units on the main residential finger and single and double bedroom units in the secondary residential finger. And we've also added an underground garage which will be placed beneath the main residential finger. In the sections here we can see the main green vertical spine, which we're going to explain later on in the presentation, and the stepped roof terraces. We've used modular unit types for the residential units, and we can see here some proposals for the single and double bedroom units. We've placed exit routes strategically throughout the entire plant. And for the facade analysis, we've created protruded terraces to provide shading for the flushed units beneath them. And for the flushed units with no terraces above them, we've used timber plywood to be reused from the demolished building to create shading for these units. And we've also created recessed communal spaces, as we can see here in the shot. We've also implemented a rainwater collection system throughout the entire project, where we collect rainwater, filter them, and repump them to resupply the toilets and re-irrigate the green roof terraces, as we can see here. For the green vertical spine, we've used operable windows, where in cold conditions during winter, the operable windows will close alongside with greenery to create greenhouse effect, therefore heating up the entire building. While in summer, the operable windows will open to create cross ventilation, therefore cooling down the entire building and enhancing the thermal comfort and air quality throughout the entire building.
We used box structure over the entrance to carry the co-working space and a die-grid structure to carry the vertical spine in our building. We also used Leica roof gardens in the roof gardens and Weber for thermal insulation to enhance the thermal quality inside our building. We also used Isover acoustic insulation in the Tran direction to enhance the acoustic quality inside the building from the Tran direction. Thanks to Saint-Gobain materials, we tried to achieve the least carbon footprint possible and 15.98 AUI, which is the average AUI in Finland.
This was our project, The Green Fingers. Thank you for your attention.
Yes, thank you very much, Egypt. I'm sure you're watching us on our live stream, so thank you for this video. And now it's time to call on stage Team 27 from Malaysia.
The world is changing, but is our architecture changing with the world? Viki is home to the natural science faculties of the University of Helsinki, where nature is of great importance for Viki. The Viki Nature Reserve is a bird sanctuary filled with floodplain forests, outdoor marsh, and coastal meadows, hence inspiring the concept of a living education and educational living to create a scheme entitled Viki, the Edu-Buoyant City. A pilot study on the climate and geography of Finland revealed a phenomenon of flood caused by coastal winds and rains, rapid melting of snow, and overflowing of rivers. Even though the situation in Helsinki is not as bad as other regions, climate reports claim it is bound to worsen. Therefore, the concept of urban buoyancy is introduced, whereby buoyancy principles are applied to achieve balance, equilibrium, and a bounce-back mechanism to constitute a social hydrology educational hub for Finland. Urban buoyancy-inspired architecture emphasizes on eco-friendly infrastructure, including stormwater management systems and sustainable construction methods, allowing buildings to float or rise with changing water levels. Urban buoyancy is also incorporated into the edges of the site through urban buoyant streetscapes, combining Lamasari, Vahapukilati Bay, and the mouth of River Vanta as ecologically thriving water bodies. In redesigning, supported by several precedents that have been proven to be flood-proof, the Buoyant City is powered by buoyant foundations, with innovative solutions to address issues on engineering and sustainability. In redesigning the student residence, the students of the University of Helsinki are likened to urban nomads, much like the historical Finnish nomads. They travel independently in exploration, build shelters towards nature, necessity, and flexibility in a life that is perpetually circulating around motion. Fusing characteristics of sporadic settlement, a lifestyle of unfolding expandability is formulated. The residential units are designed as multi-purpose communal chambers bridged together by a facade system of mobile balconies. Each student chooses how much space to occupy, to expose and enclose, as well as the facade systems in terms of light and ventilation, privacy, and accessibility to the outdoors. Via two types of mobile balconies, one which provides an external track to which the balcony functions as a vertical elevator or a horizontal vehicle, while the other is an inbuilt tray that fans out radially into the external facade. Studies on materiality, U-value impacts, and daylighting are also made to ensure maximum living comfort within the residential units. The new master plan seamlessly connects with the existing student residence functions, allowing students to engage in boating activities and crisis planning, participate in water management systems and agriculture, and harvest fish and prawns through aquaponics, which are harvested and processed into lutefisk, the traditional Finnish dried fish sold at the community market. The existing wall structures for the faculty are retained, with newly built bathrooms and toilets, with newly built bathrooms and facade systems for the new student residents. Evidently, the aim is to adaptive reuse, while still linking back to the pre-existing building programs and community. Using the SG Save Eye plugin, energy calculations are made, and the data is used to perform a comprehensive life cycle assessment. Based on the priority and needs of each space, Saint-Gobain's various construction products are inputted into each corner of the project. With sustainability objectives to build better, create healthier spaces, achieve net zero acoustics, and produce sustainable insulation that come together to improve the built environment, eventually creating a better living space for all members of the ecosystem, and finally achieve the goal of making the world a better home. Therefore, by implementing modularity into both the old and new student residences, and by injecting new life into the concept of the master plan via the Buoyant City, the Viki campus is transformed into the Buoyant City, a model of resilience for Viki and Finland. Ultimately, the nomads of the Viki community finds his or her own habitat in an architecture promoting manifold movement around people, nature, and the city. Upon buoyant foundations and vessels that float over the man-made lake, circulating water, resources, and other beings throughout all seasons of the year, seasons of bloom and harvest, and seasons of crisis and recovery. In Viki, the all-new...
Thank you very much, Team Malaysia. Thank you very much. And now welcome on stage Team 28 from South Africa.
Hello. We are representing South Africa by myself, Devlin Sharp, and Keegan Delamere from the Tshwane University of Technology. our project based around a central courtyard enclosed to include, where our inspiration was the green fingers of the development of Helsinki. Our project was to enclose the greater site to blur the lines between the indoor and outdoor environments. Our concept involved maximizing the site for both the new and the existing building, creating the central courtyard between the buildings and the courtyard within Building B. Then we opened up the site to the light to allow natural lighting into the courtyards, the public access between the new tram line, the existing museum, and the university buildings. And then to incorporate the greenery back into the site to have these green fingers coexisting back onto the courtyard and the green roofs.
Then having a look at the site plan itself, or the master plan, as many young practitioners or aspiring architects or even practicing architects with experience tend to neglect the value that a courtyard or landscaping has to offer for a building. What is a building on its site without landscaping? How can we connect buildings? How can we distinguish the difference between separating structures and allow landscaping to be the element that brings everything together? So very much like an agricultural community in which Vicky finds itself, what we aspire to do over here with this site specifically is bring back in the symbolic remembrance of a crop field, and how that, through linking in the structure itself, can be the path between each structure on the site itself. So when we have a look at this master plan to the northeast facade or site, we have got the new development, the new structure, housing the multi-residential space, and then on the southern site, we have the extension of an existing office space that has then been rehabilitated into or reused as a accommodation space or a hostel. Then having a look at these bays that have been incorporated. So the pathways distinguish these bays that have been created. Patches of grass, that could also be for a market space. So a lot of social and economical activity can take place along these routes. This also acts as a linking between these structures, and then looking at the importance of social factors that can bring life back to a site. Having a look at the floor plan, we started having a look at bringing in academic spaces as well as living spaces to maximize the social and economical aspects of the building itself. We started having a look at the structure of the building, incorporating and keeping this, the height of the building consistent, as we know that in winter the sun azimuth can be quite low, so that we can allow for enough daylight to reach the courtyard itself. So we started to omit a slab on the inside to actually allow light to filter through as we look at the new exhibition space that has been provided. This is now the exhibition space itself that can also be used to, as we see, to filter light throughout the building into the courtyard. Having a look at the dynamic facade that we've decided to incorporate, the lunar timber facade, that will allow for people to actually tackle the difference between, or daylight as we see, distinguishing day and night, so that we can actually give back to the people. And as this structure is also in itself managed manually, that can give ownership to the occupant of that structure as well. This is now the dynamic facade in use. As we can see, it's an ever-changing facade, giving more dynamic ability to the facade itself. This is the site as a whole, and we start having a look at the new structure. With the basement as well as the occupancy, we had a look at 28% of the building incorporated for single living, single living, and then we have close to 50% of that catering for double units. 80% and the ground floor being commercial and economical use. And then we started having a look at the different room topologies. Ground floor with a courtyard that is then used to manipulate and control the microclimate within and around the building, and basement parking that can provide for the site itself as well. Then we have a look at the roof garden as well. That could also start looking at spaces for horticulture, as well as the sunroofs or the skylights that can naturally allow light to filter through, heating up the spaces on the inside of the building, and also the housing of solar panels for sustainable strategies. Then the strategies that have been incorporated with also the architecture of the lunar facade that can then start forming uniformity throughout the building, bringing back to the architecture through these different structures. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Team from South Africa. Thank you very much. And now, our team from Mexico, team number 29. Welcome on stage.
Honorable audience members, what could be even more natural than embracing nature itself? Arantxa, Diego and I, Sofia, developed the idea that reflects this harmony, Luonnon Koti. Translated as natural home, it is the blend between nature and urban life that symbolizes the coexistence between architecture and the natural context.
The project nurtures an embrace of nature. As a bird's nest, Luonnon Koti creates a shelter where individuals can engage with the environment to enhance the comfort and well-being of all inhabitants.
Luonnon Koti blends into Vicky's master plan by linking key urban areas through its proposal. A bridge over the existing roundabout for pedestrians and cyclists, the extension of green areas, and the direct linkage between two new light rail stations proposed by the district.
The existing building structural rhythm determined the modulation of the new building, extending to complete a circle. Subsequently, the design was adjusted to integrate the gardenia, Japanese garden, and existing trees through a bridge to lighten the construction mass. Afterward, urban connections established vertical circulations. Finally, climatic conditions were considered by locating hallways to the north as thermal buffers, living spaces facing south for thermal gains, and a roof twist to maximize solar radiation for clean energy generation.
The exterior area aims to unite residents with nature. An urban connection is reinforced through a bridge crossing from the roundabout towards the gardenia. The multi-purpose nests serve as a shelter, alluding to the bird reservation area, as well as a sculptural wall around the old museum. The central sauna is a reunion spot, connected to a swimming pond for cold baths and temperature changes. Moreover, everything is linked through paths, a bike lane, and a cross-country ski route, leading to each activity.
The project adapts to the natural topography of the site, locating commercial areas and public spaces on the ground floor and first level. From the second floor to the fifth floor, there are apartments and hanging nest cabins, offering shared leisure and studying spaces able to connect with nature. Additionally, there is an underground parking lot and a rooftop garden.
Based on an analysis of the site's most relevant climatic conditions, such as wind, solar incidence and temperatures, noise disturbance, and connections with the context, and the results of the psychrometric chart, energy efficiency and sustainability were achieved. The main passive strategies are solar gains, maximizing thermal mass, insulation, and the Elixir geothermal air system. Active strategies such as ventilation systems, underfloor heating systems, heat pumps, and photovoltaic panels are also implemented. Moreover, there's rainwater treatment and heat recovery from wastewater as complementary measures.
The facade exhibits a pattern of 3 types of apartments: studio, double, and triple. Each apartment has a flexibility to be modified, since all the interior walls are adjustable, allowing for adaptability in each unit, extending the lifespan of the entire building.
The structural system is built by CLT panels following the existing building structural model. The facade consists of recycled triple low-E glazing and dark tone wood cladding. Both CLT slabs and walls contain a thermoacoustic insulation called isocolon, which is made of recycled clothes, as well as a layer of phase-change materials used to stabilize indoor temperatures. Finally, a large amount of energy is produced through the solar-paneled roof.
The building A remains for retrofitting. Additionally, both buildings' elements such as doors, windows, sanitary fixtures, and claddings are relocated. Also, through Saint-Gobain's recycling system, glass and gypsum board are recovered. Finally, demolition waste is used for exterior furniture and pavement.
Based on an energy modeling analysis, Luonnon Koti is a net zero project. Due to bioclimatic design strategies and photovoltaic panels, the building produces more energy than it consumes, offsetting the embodied carbon footprint through its life cycle. Therefore, the project is designed for the future: flexible, replaceable, repairable, dismantleable, and easily maintained.
Luonnonkoti represents the power of proposing. It is not just any project, but a place that adapts to Finland's climatic conditions, integrates with nature, and contributes to Viki and its people through innovative and sustainable technologies aiming to mitigate climate change.
Let's reciprocate nature's embrace with our own. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Mexico. Thank you. And now it's already time for our last team of this session, to the team from Indonesia. Welcome.
Check. Okay. Good day, everyone. My name is Dara from Indonesia. I will be presenting our project called Centered. So, as we know, the site is located in Viki, Helsinki, around the educational area with access to public transportation. In here, the people in Helsinki like to read books, walk, and also exercise in nature. Then we also use Grasshopper to analyze the solar radiation and wind speeds and the context as the numbers shown. So, how far can we harvest the existing conditions in Helsinki? We use the Bernoulli's principle for the building's form to maximize the wind speed and also enhance its energy by using a wind facade that is implemented also in building A. So why centered? At a macro level, this area is centered to trigger social interactions for multiple programmatic layers. And also in a micro level, each building we own has its own centered focus as shown as the slide. This is our master plan. We use the native vegetation that is often used in research for the researchers and the students on their studies. And we also added an amphitheater park for visual access for the building A surrounding the area. This is our museum. We added a bird watching program connecting the existing arboretum to the museum. This purpose is to revive the museum as shown with natural surroundings and cultural heritage buildings. This is building A. Building A, as shown, this is the demolished, addition, and new. Our proposal is to minimize the demolition of the existing walls while accommodating residential and also communal space needs. Here is the second and third floors. We added openings in the southwest area for light access to maintain comfort. Here are our perspectives. Okay, next, this is building B. As shown, building B is a new construction harvesting the wind conditions in Helsinki previously mentioned. To further verify that the building form does affect the wind speed, we conduct an optimization using ANSYS for existing and also proposed building. The result shows that the proposed building could speed up the wind process, enhancing the energy that could be harvested. This is our basement for underground parkings. The ground floor acts as a communal space for the area with facilities such as gym, cafe, and also co-working space. This is the first floor, and this is the second floor. Our floors have communal laundry room and sauna, and also uses same typology design that is further used. This is the building B. We have 4 units in total. This is our perspectives. Yes. And we have a rooftop garden for communal use for the building B. In emergency, we have a fire escape stairs with core areas and also the fire escape stairs using fire-resistant materials for the building. Here we provide our building sections, and this is the detail of our floor and wall. This wall is a combination of layers that create lower U value to reduce energy consumption while maintaining the acoustical needs. This is the detail of our floor-to-floor and rooftop. And this is the detail of the wind facades, where each model has its own generator to convert wind into electrical energy. So the wind facade uses a mechanical energy that is converted into an electrical energy in the generator. It is then converted into a DC current through the charge controller and then converted back into a single-phase AC power from the off-grid inverter used suitable for household and commercial use. It rotates, and the facade is used to supply the electrical needs for the building, minimizing the grid consumption of the grid electricity. This is our heating. We use district heating and also geothermal collectors. So the energy is then pumped from the ground heat exchanger, then distributed to the heat recovery unit. This is our cooling diagram, and this is our water management. We have a rainwater tank, and also the gray water in the area is also utilized for the landscape in the area as well. This is our natural lighting. We use the Saint-Gobain products, triple glass planetarium from Saint-Gobain, responding both to winter and summer sun. This is our heating and cooling needs, and also the daily anatomy of ground floor. It's an Energy Plus, and also for the units. In summary, Centered, in recap, can contribute a great deal for the electrical needs of the building, and also the sustainability of the building. Here is our life cycle analysis. Thank you for the attention to our project Centered, the sustainable design for you, for us, and for the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much Thank you very much, Indonesia. Maybe a little bit. Thank you very much. Well, I think time was flying. That closes already session 2 of the project presentations. And I must say the hard part is done now for the students. And really, you all did really great.
Yes, I agree. We would like to thank all participants. First, to the teams, a big thank you. You have shown creativity, you have shown energy, and you have proven teamwork, so that's really impressive. And to the jury, we would like to thank you all for your time and engagement. Thank you.
So now a little bit information on what is going on this afternoon. So first we will have lunch at 12 o'clock for everyone, just outside the door here in the Europea foyer. And we have more than 1 hour to enjoy our lunch. But at 1 o'clock you have to be ready to go for the city tour. And as we are going to do some walking around, please wear comfortable shoes, weather-appropriate clothes, and remember also to pack your water bottle and your cap for the sun. And be careful, the teams from session 1, they will depart from the lobby at 1:20 sharp, and the teams from the session 2 will depart as well from the hotel lobby at 1:30. So please don't be late.
Yes, it looks like we are blessed with a very nice weather, the best we can have at this time of year. But we have a small quiz also in the afternoon, so pay attention during the city tour. Because when you come back to the hotel at 4:40, there will be a quiz on the app, which you have probably all downloaded to your mobiles. And there will be prizes for the top 3 teams who comes up with the quickest and best answers. And after that, you will then have time to get ready for the gala dinner, the festivities we have tonight.
Yes, and please be ready, because the transfer to the award ceremony venue will depart promptly at 6:05 from the hotel lobby.
Yes, that was the program for today and tonight, and let's have a look at what we have coming tomorrow. You might forget this, of course, by tomorrow, but let's go through this, and don't worry, you can find this information in the app as well. So we start with breakfast from 7 o'clock at the hotel, as we did today. And then we will have the feedback sessions for all teams. And the timing and the rooms where you will meet with the jury members will be announced also on the app after the awards ceremony tonight, so quite late. And please note that you must attend, all teams must attend the feedback session. And those will continue until 12 o'clock, but by 11:45 you need to check out from your rooms, and don't worry about your luggage. We have reserved a luggage room. It's named Key West, and it's at the first floor of the hotel.
Right, and then we will go walking to lunch to a surprise venue. At 12:10 we have to meet in the lobby, in the hotel lobby. And then we have the architecture conference from 2 to 3 for all those who have registered, but it's still time to register to the conference. We have the list where you can put your name at the reception desk.
So that was all. Now it's time for lunch, 1 hour, well-deserved. So enjoy it and see you all later. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you very much. We enjoyed very much this morning.
Yes.
Right.
Don't
Pascal,
forget
yeah?
to vote.
You can vote until 2 p.m. It's not open?
When will it open?